Hello, hello. My name is not Markiplier. It's Stashlin, and welcome to another episode of the StachelinYaps podcast. This is episode 15, and today we're looking at what some future updates might look like. Now, most people, of course, want an end update, and that's what a lot of people think 1.22 is going to be. I really don't see it happening. I get it. People want it. I would appreciate an end update, I think. Just a minor one, though. Not, honestly, I feel like this is a hot take. I feel like any end updates should not be that large, but that's just me. I get that people aren't going to agree with that, and that's completely fine. But, most people want an end update, right? That's what a lot of people are asking for. That's the common ask for 1.22 is please finally Mojang update the end, which is a reasonable ask. The last time you updated by a I can't think of the word now. Realm, it's not a biome, realm or dimension, or there it is, dimension. Man, I am out of it right now. Anyway, the last time that happened was 2020, which is now, being that it's 2025, it is now 5 years ago that got updated, essentially, right? So it's been a while, and the end is sorely lacking much content. It is pretty depressing. Let's just say there's a reason why people terraform their end island into other things. It's because there's nothing there to see or do. It's just eh, there's really nothing there. So it's kind of understandable that people don't really do anything with it past a certain point. Getting your Elytra Joker boxes. Nobody does anything else. It's not surprising at all. I totally understand, and honestly, I'm in agreement with these people. Because it's just, there's quite literally nothing. So, what I would like to see, aside from an end update, right? Because yeah, I would appreciate an end update. And honestly, if it were to be one, I'd want it to be a small one. I don't want like a complete overhaul because honestly, I really don't care the end is as dead as it is. Like giving me more to do right after that. I mean, I don't know. I could go and do it, but like really all it does is impede me getting an Elytra and tons of shulker boxes. That's really all it does. And as someone who plays a lot of hardcore Minecraft and long-term hardcore Minecraft, those two items are very important. And they're already kind of irritating to get. You know, fighting through end cities, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. End busting is super fun, but fighting shulkers just sucks. Plain and simple. Right? They just are so incredibly irritating to fight and have to deal with. So dealing with that is just a bad time, genuinely. So what else would I like to see? Well, there's a few things. Number one, a big thing that I would like to see are updates that are go back to old Minecraft development, right? Updates where it's like a biome or two, and it's like a good chunk of blocks, and it's exploration and building updates, right? Now, the way Mojang has been doing this kind of stuff is everything has to have this massive structure now that's just this overly complicated thing. It's not even very difficult to deal with in the first place. With like the trial chamber with like the trial chambers, they're trivially easy to fight. Like it's not difficult. Unless I was in iron armor, I'm not gonna struggle. Like unenchanted diamond is more than enough, as far as I can tell. Maybe I'm just cracked at Minecraft. Who knows? It's very possible that that's just the case. Maybe I'm just too good at the game. I am the dream who doesn't diddle kids. Or or they call me Garson, whoever. Maybe I'm just that good, but that's not the case. I know that's not the case because I'm just not that great at Minecraft. Honestly, I'm not like some amazing Minecraft player who's crazy goated at the game. I'm just not. That's not me. If that was me, I probably would have more subscribers on YouTube, to be fair. So I want to see an update like that, right? I want to see updates where it's biome, bunch of biomes, a bunch of blocks, and maybe a mob or two, and just something random. The way Notch was developing the game back before he sold it. That's kind of the way updates were. It was just like hodgepodge stuff, but it was a lot of it, and there was a lot of new blocks, and then or you might get a new structure. I really don't care for more structures. As it is, Minecraft already has a lot of structures. And I don't really think we need like a lot more of them. That just feels like to me like lazy development, honestly. Like just adding in these crappily made and not very impressive or helpful structures is just you're just doing it to do it, man. Like it's really not it's not very well done, and it's really not adding anything to the game that's actually beneficial. So that's one thing. However that would turn out, I have no idea. I don't even know what you'd call it. I don't know. I'd want personally a bunch of like nature and terraforming blocks, right? I want to see like grass slabs and stairs, dirt slabs and stairs. You know, I want to see that kind of stuff that I can use for making paths and what all. Like I want to see those kinds of things, which I know sounds really strange to say that I want dirt slabs and stairs. I know that sounds weird, but the building applications are massive. As a builder, not one who's like I'm not some like member of the bakery or whatever who literally posts on Instagram, Minecraft builds on Instagram for a living and makes a living doing that. I'm not that good. I'm also not that big either as a content creator, but that's besides the point. It's just not what I do. I'm not that great of a builder, but as someone that who has kind of just played out their Minecraft playthroughs that way as, the building kind of character, it's just I play Minecraft mostly for the building aspects. I mean, that's kind of what Minecraft's meant to be anyway. It's about building. And then Mojang recently, along with Microsoft, has kind of tried to been changing Minecraft to being a exploration game. They're adding in all this exploration stuff, which I get it. I guess if Minecraft as just a building game can be boring for people who struggle with creativity and what all. I get it, but then maybe Minecraft's just not the game for you? Maybe play something else. That's just my advice for that if you really do struggle with that. Otherwise, there is a video on the playlist. There is a podcast episode about it. Episode 7 helps with if you struggle with burnout, go watch that episode. It's a pretty good one. It's my like most viewed video on the main channel. Um, yeah, as to another update, I want to see if you're gonna add in structures, right? Which I know Mojang is going to because it's the way that development has been going for them. They just add in more structures as opposed to like anything else. Add in some structures that actually challenge you in the late game. Because the ancient city's really not challenging. Wardens are trivially easy to cheese. All you need to dig is a long tunnel. That's it. All you need is a long tunnel and the ability to fly. And you'll be fine. Maybe a totem or two if you mess up. But that's all you need for an ancient city. And because of that, it's kind of eh. It's like really the only structure that comes close to being challenging. Trial chambers. I'm in there. I take 0 damage for the most part. I get hit with like the only time I take damage is a poison effect, right? It's the only thing that damages me because I don't have a protection. I don't have protection on my armor for poison because there is no poison protection. But it's so me getting hit with like residual effect damage is the only way I actually start to get hurt. And experience of that really boring. Could I go and get weaker armor? Yeah, I could. But what would be the point? It's just a waste of materials at that point. Like, I'm not gonna make my armor weaker so that I can go and play this game. So I can go and do this in like field challenge. Like, no, Mojang should make some more challenging things. And that's the thing though. I don't really know what Mojang's thought process is behind some of this stuff, right? It's really hard to speak to what it is that is going through their heads as they're going through development processes. But make some. It's not going to be hard. It's not going to be damaging to make some harder structures and mobs and bosses or whatever, right? Not that I'm saying we need to add more bosses, but like a structure with like tougher mobs or something would be great. Because I really don't feel like there is anything that like that. I want to have that, I want to have that late end game challenge kind of idea. And you can do it just fine. It's not like no one's required to go anywhere, you know? I think Mojang thinks that people are required to go places, and so they make it easier so that their entire player base, or at least most of it, can get to these things and do it safely without dying repeatedly and losing all their items and just quitting the game, which, I mean, I guess that's fair, but for the most part, you don't have to go anywhere. Like, there's really only two structures you need to go to. It's a stronghold and another fortress. That's it. It's the only two structures that are required for the game. Everything else is secondary and supplementary to those. Are bastions helpful? Yeah, love a great bastion. Tons of good loot in there, tons of gold. Really great. Villages. If you're playing long-term Minecraft, I would say yes. If you're planning on playing a long-term game, villager infrastructure is a requirement. Simple as. I would say then yeah. If that's what you're thinking, then me personally, I'd say yeah. But if all your goal is to beat the game, you can do that in unenchanted iron armor and a sword, an iron sword. Like that's really, I mean, heck, you could do it in less. That's just giving you like a pretty average chance of doing that, you know? And if your goal is only to, quote unquote, beat the game, there's really no end to Minecraft, right? Like, there's no way to really beat it. But if that's your only goal, is beating the game, well, there you go. You need those two structures, and that's it. You don't have to go anywhere else. No bastions, no ocean monuments, no end cities. Like, even end cities aren't a requirement. It's only if you're going after the Ender Dragon fight. And if you're not, well, then there's no need to, It's all you have to do. So, that being said, taking that we've just talked about, just discovered, most structures you don't need to go to. So it's not, it's not a requirement for someone to go somewhere. You can go and make these and then say, well, and if people are complaining, it's not like you need to go there. It's just extra. All that's there is some minorly better loot. Which also, on an entirely different topic, I'll rant about this later on the episode, but modern loot tables are just bad in general. I hate it. I'll rant about that later. But if someone's like, oh, the structure's too hard, I hate going here, they can respond with, it's not required to beat the game. You don't have to go there. No, there's only two structures that are required to beat the game. Only two. And if that's your only goal, well, woohoo. Now, if they were to add another structure that's required to beat the game and it was incredibly difficult to get through, like you're just like almost guaranteed to die. Like if an ancient city was required to beat the game, okay, maybe that's kind of a bad idea. At that point, that's kind of fair, That's really not great. Oh, there's a carrot contest. That's really not great for the player base. And in which case, yeah, 100%, I get it. Don't do that. That's a bad time. You know? Jeez, I cannot go in a straight line. So, bad loot. I cannot be bothered with how bad modern loot tables are, dude. I go to a structure and I'm in there, it's like, oh, okay. rotten flesh, potatoes, and a map and the map has a heart of the sea and 4 gold. Wow, I have a shulker box full of gold blocks. This was just a waste of my time. Past a certain point in Minecraft, every bit of loot you get is a waste of time. You're not getting anything new. Unless you're going to collect, like, armor trims or something, past a certain point, exploring is a waste of your time. Unless you need a biome or you're going to collect an item soak for an item collection, like an armor trim or whatever it may be, right? Like, unless you're doing that, there's just no point. Absolutely no point in going anywhere. You might as well just sit at your base and build stuff until the end of time, which I guess that's kind of the point of Minecraft, to be fair. But if Mojang, clearly they want you to go and explore things. That is clearly their MO for the game in the modern day, is go out and explore, right? Why else would they be doing things like locking villager trades to specific biomes and be adding in all these new structures? It's to get people to go out and explore, right? That is it's just obvious to tell that's how they want people to be playing the game in the modern day. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, exploring, having a game about exploration, there's nothing wrong with that. And to be fair, as Minecraft goes, there isn't a lot of content, right? It is a sandbox game. So if you're trying to get people to continue to play your game, well then yeah, having exploration be a requirement for things isn't a bad way to get more playtime, right? It's logical. I can understand it. But if you're gonna do that, for the love of all that is holy, give me better loot. And that kind of comes with an end game structure, right? Like, I get it. You know, if I want really good loot, I gotta go to a place that's really hard to go to. Even the loot in Ancient Cities isn't great. The loot in Ancient Cities is pretty mid, honestly. I couldn't be bothered to go there. It's like, oh, well, you got candles and a pair of diamond pants that's enchanted. It's like, well, thanks, guy. I've already got full netherite on and a great candles. Okay, I could have made those myself really easily too. I have a bunch of bees. It's not difficult to make candles. It's string and honeycomb. That's it. That's all I need to make candles. It's like, well, okay. And then there's the occasional god apple, which maybe I know my luck is bad with Minecraft loot generation. I get it. I'm not a very lucky Minecraft player, all things considered. I'm just not. It doesn't really happen for me. And so maybe this is just my luck being bad, but I can never, ever get apples, gold apples, enchanted golden apples, does not matter. I never get them from structures. So me going to an ancient city, unless again, if I'm looking for the silence armor trim, that is the only reason for me to go. The only reason. There was no other reason for me to go to an ancient city other than getting that armor trim. No reason. Absolutely none. And so, what's even the point of me going there? The only reason I went there in my hardcore world is because I wanted to do a build there, and I happened to find silence. Armor trims aren't even a requirement, you know? Of course they're not. It's a completely cosmetic item. Me going for an armor trim is an intentional choice to not use my time for better things like building up farms and getting richer, right? It's an intentional choice to do that. And I just happened to find it. I mean, it was, funnily enough, it was in the first chest I opened. It's the only time I've ever had good luck in an ancient city with chests, is that the first chest I opened had silence in it. So I will say it's one of the few times that it's actually been worth my while to go there. And of course, I was planning on doing a build anyway. Like, those are the only reasons I went. And so, like, loot seriously needs to be fixed. And I mean, I don't know what you do exactly, but maybe like a nether version of an ancient city, which bastions don't count for that. Neither, if you had some like mix of a stronghold and a bastion with an even more difficult boss mob to fight, like a nether warden, like if you mixed like a piglin brute and a warden, and then gave me like the ability to find like enchanted netherite gear in there, yeah, I'd actually go. and if you gave me a higher chance to find enchanted golden apples, I'd go. Then, okay, I could see it. Maybe it's more worth it. You know, maybe, just maybe, that's actually worth it. But to me, it doesn't seem like it is, you know? It just feels like a waste of my time. And it probably honestly is. I mean, I definitely could just spend the entirety of my time getting richer, which with my iron farm and my villagers is very easy. In a couple of, I mean, actually the holdup is the iron farm, funnily enough, but like if I just like sell off a full farm's worth of iron, like if our farm is full, I already have like the net worth of Elon Musk in emeralds. I did a video on it, and an emerald is 3.8 million US dollars. So you can figure out how many emeralds it takes to do that. But if my chests are full of iron, I have already got Elon Musk's net worth right there. And so if I really wanted to, I could just AFK the farm, filled up with iron, sell it to villagers, and just become an ungodly amount of rich, which, I mean, I could do that, and it would be fun to do, but there's no point, you know? It's kind of a thing with just sandbox games in general, is that, you know, past a certain point, you know, what do you do? It's about creating your own thing, which Mojang doesn't seem to like that that's what a sandbox game is now. They seem to have a problem with that in the modern day. The whole point of a sandbox game is you create your own fun. It's not about the game creating the fun for you. This isn't a single player story game. This is a place block, mind block, kill creepers and zombie game. Right? Like, it's block game. Give me more block. That's what updates should be. But if Mojang's going to continue, give me a really hard structure where I'm actually like having to like turn on my brain to go through it. I can shut my brain off going through a bastion. I shouldn't be able to do that. There's no reason I should be able to switch off my brain and just be like, okay, whatever. In a structure that's supposed to be very difficult because it's got piglin brutes and whatever. The fact that I'm able to do that is a sign that that structure is not that difficult, you know? And it needs to be buffed somewhat, or you need to make a harder structure that's actually difficult. Anyway, that's some speculations and some complaints about Minecraft's development and what I think some future updates would look like. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe. Helps really helps with the algorithm. Please subscribe if you liked what you saw, and so you get notifications for the future, right? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see out of future podcast episodes. Give me some topics to talk about. Give me something to yap about. It is a sacrifice to the algorithm gods anyhow. So, I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.